Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me again. Well, if you live anywhere near where I live, it's probably raining. It has been raining here on and off all day. And not only is it raining, but it's windy too, and fairly unpleasant if you're outside. Rain is something that different people see in different ways. So often we complain about it, don't we? Because we feel it's keeping us inside when we'd like to be outside. And admittedly, some things are harder and less pleasant to do outside in the rain, but there's nothing really stopping us going out in it. As I went for a quick wander around the garden earlier, I was looking at the places where I've planted seeds, and I started thinking about those beautiful time-lapse videos that you sometimes see on nature programs of what can happen in the desert when the annual rain arrives. I expect you've seen them, speeded up films where seemingly barren ground suddenly turns into a mass of plants and flowers as the rain starts to fall. It's just amazing. I know it won't happen in quite the same way in my garden, but I have hopes that those seeds I've planted in the last couple of weeks will be happy to feel the rain and begin to grow, even if some of us are not quite so happy about it. But of course, rain is also a huge problem for some people when it doesn't arrive. There are those places in our world where if the rain doesn't come, food can't be grown and people die. Rain seems like such a simple thing that we often take for granted, and yet we are so reliant on it, almost more reliant than many other things. About 800 years ago, St. Francis, as he became later, wrote a song called the Canticle of the Creatures, and in it there is a verse about what he calls Sister Water. And he describes Sister Water as being useful, humble, precious, and pure. A beautiful description, I think. My Lent course this week is thinking about water, so you might hear a bit more about it. But for today, I'd like to start off by reading to you a poem. It's by Helder Camara and it's just called Water, My Sister Water. The end of it is more a prayer than a poem, so feel free to stick an amen in the comments if you'd like to. When you were created, did you yet know how many things would be the things you must do, from the most noble and beautiful to the most base and desolate? Yes, you are beautiful, in the stillness of lakes, in the flowing of rivers, as humble brooks or as the rushing of rapids, in glittering cascades, in the oceans which leave us in the lingering images of the infinite. Yet for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, you are still more beautiful as you labour with joy on your round of lowly tasks, the washing of clothes, the cleaning of floors, the quenching of imperious thirst. And impressive are you in your ceaseless travel, lifted from the earth to the clouds and coming down again from heaven, to bring life to the plants, to the animals, life to the human race. How did you receive the dreadful commission to bring the flood and storms at sea and wild lashing of the tempest? Do you know you give the chance of heaven as the reward of those who offer you to quench the thirst of their brother or sister? Do you know the sins of the human race are to blame for the many pains you are forced to cure? Thank you, Sister Water. Forgive us who make you perform cruel tasks. Thank you above all, because you help us to praise the Creator and Father. Amen. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow, I hope. Bye for now.